Hi, I'm here to speak to you a bit about the foundations behind the General Technology Competency and Use Model. In this short clip, I'll deal with the concept of digital technology as a context rather than strictly a tool, and as such we'll explore the knowledge, skills, and ultimately the competencies that are implied as we function in this digital world. Digital technology is now a part of every aspect of human activity. Actually, this technology creates a context, or at least another layer, to the world we live in. We exist in a physical world with its physical laws that govern our activities, but we also live in a virtual or digital world with a different set of laws, if you wish, that also govern many of our activities. In addition, we need to consider that both these layers interact with each other and are not completely independent. Because the digital layer is actually connected with many or every aspect of our physical world, and because we actually interact with both layers, this alters not only how we function, but also, and probably more importantly, it transforms our expectations. The more we use digital technology, the more we see the possibilities, and the more we transform, if not redefine, what we do and what we expect. To put it simply, we expect a message sent to be received instantly and read in the shortest time. No longer do we really accept a paper letter to be sent and to be received weeks apart or even days. We expect to be able to reach any individual by text, voice, or even video communications instantly, regardless of where they may be. Communication is no longer tied to time, distance, or location. It is an instant and ubiquitous connection between people. And so our communication expectations transformed. When we need information on anything, our health, the pills we take, the movies we're watching, the weather, the state of research on some recent innovation, anything, we expect to be able to have it at our fingertips instantly. Furthermore, in some cases, we expect that information to be put in front of our eyes before we ask for it or even know it exists. For many of us, it's transformed what we're expected to know about our work. Just look at the number of online publications in your domain and the rate of publication. It has also changed most of our entertainment culture. No longer do we have to go to the cinema to see a movie or go to a music store to purchase a record or CD. These are now accessed online and viewed or heard on devices we carry in our pockets. I could also mention the large paper maps we used to plan a trip. Now gone. Information is no longer tied to media. It's simply information that is accessed. And so, from the product of this ubiquitous and accessible collective intelligence, the informational expectations are completely redefined. Finally, we call upon this technology to automate the processing or transformation of many types of information or data, from multimedia to numerical, from artistic to scientific, or from business to engineering, to name a few. Some use specific software to transform loose collections of random ideas into structured clusters, or mind maps or concept maps. Photographers have moved out of the darkroom and onto the computer screen. We create algorithms that can then validate themselves. We can build simple robots and then program these to do specific tasks. Or we simply program a spreadsheet to automatically recalculate financial statements and produce bills. As we can delegate such tasks to a digital device, we also expect these calculations or the transformations to be done accurately, and we expect the results in an instant. Not only have our expectations been redefined as we do not tolerate errors or delays, but in order to use the technology for such computational purposes, we tend to develop a deeper knowledge about the actual domain-specific process we are trying to automate. To achieve this, we need to develop a much more detailed understanding of the domain or the disciplines involved. It's no longer sufficient to possess the content knowledge, but we also need to understand the nature of procedures and methods that are used to create this disciplinary knowledge. We need to develop an epistemological competency to target the discipline. We must remember that for any of this to be possible, a certain level of basic or even advanced technical competency is necessary to make use of the digital technology for any of the described purposes. This set of technical competencies is growing in necessity as digital tools are growing in ubiquity, but it's also somewhat fading in complexity as user interfaces are becoming more intuitive and intelligent. In fact, no matter what your occupation or profession, you likely use some form of digital technology in your daily life, and so do the people around you. So it rarely requires you to take special training as it's getting easier to use, at least from the technical standpoint. But what may be important to realize is that with this varied use of technology, we also tend to develop a very specific knowledge and skill set beyond the purely technical aspect that we need. We also need to develop these to act and interact with people, information, and processes. Digital technology is not just a tool, it is an additional complex layer to our environment, and how we function in that layer is as important as how we function in any other. This knowledge and skill set can not only be mapped into a specific profile of competency and use of digital technology, but it will likely affect our expectations of the world we live in. This might be fine, except that our students and their teachers, do they expect the same thing? Do the colleagues we work with as a team expect the same from everyone? Do employers expect something from employees that they're actually familiar with? This general technology and competency use profile can help in such discussion, and specifics of this profile are presented in the next video clip. There is no good or bad profile, but understanding what our personal profile is, how it affects our expectations, can be very important to appreciate the world we live in, not just the technology we see it through.